Let's speak now to Michelle Bridgman, who is a psychotherapist and works for the Gender Trust. Good morning.
Morning.
Thanks very much for joining us this morning. Now, this is the front page of The Sun today. I'll just hold that up now. Sex swap pupil number 2, now boy, 9 is girl. Now, these stories have got a lot of coverage, particularly in the tabloids this week. People will be possibly a little alarmed by what they're hearing.
Sure.
Now, do you want to put some sort of some clarity on what these stories are?
Exactly. I think the first thing to say is, you've got a headline like that says sex swap pupil. This child has not changed sex at this point. This is a child, as far as I can understand it, I don't know the case intimately, but this is somebody who profoundly is unhappy in the gender they were born into. And my guess is that the parents and the child and doctors, clinicians and so on have come to the point where this child's been so distressed that for them to live in the gender role that they feel they should be in will at least take the heat out of that. And I think a headline like that's unhelpful because it implies that a lot more's happened with hormone therapy, surgery and so on. And although your caption said 16, in fact nobody in this country can have sex reassignment surgery until 18 even. So let's keep some perspective in this story. It's not really gone that far. And my guess is that it's very hard for somebody, as with most people, if you haven't lived with a profound experience like that, you can't really comprehend it.
Yeah. Well, in which case your experience is relevant here. And at what age did you feel that this had happened to you?
First awareness was 5 at school. Yeah.
I'm sure that the thing that is so striking about these cases is the age of the children, but it happened to you even younger.
Yeah, well, what normally happens is that people will suppress it, and I think certainly in the past people didn't have any understanding of it, so there was nothing really available. So a doctor or a psychiatrist would have just had no knowledge of it. We're talking about a fairly new phenomenon here. Pioneers that went through this back in the 50s and 60s was when it really, so 50 years, 60 years is quite new, so we're learning about it all the time. I know when I work with people, it's exploring what does gender really mean.
And I just wonder, when you said yourself that you sort of had those kind of feelings that you knew something at the age of 5. Now, given these children at age 9 and 12, is it a healthy thing, do you think, that at that early age that their issues are being taken seriously enough, in this case very seriously, so they are adopting a new sex, or is it something that should wait longer before you make that big step?
I think two things. I think one should never take it lightly, and I don't think anybody should be encouraged to go along a path if it's not absolutely right. My guess is that in cases like this, the feeling is so deep and so primal that child is deeply distressed if they can't express themselves in the gender role they feel they should be in. So yes, I think if that is the case, then it is helpful. And in some countries, in America, they won't do it here yet, but there are puberty blockers that will defer and slow puberty down, which is found to be very useful, and there are people from this country who've gone abroad for that. And let me stress, it doesn't mean that you're doing anything that's irreversible at that point, but it just buys some time so that the child can, be sure with help, that they know exactly what they're doing.
Can I just ask one very brief final question? These children are young.
Sure.
Is it likely that they will change their minds?
Probably not, but it's always possible. So you need to allow for that, but it would appear that in this case these children have a very deep-rooted feeling and meaning.
Michelle, we have to leave it there, but thank you very much for your time this morning.
Thank you.